piece of equipment in the accelerator, Anatoly had to stick his head into the space where the proton beam passes through the accelerator tube. If you just felt yourself shrink away from the screen,
Turn the
your
light off.
instincts are on point. Because that day it turned out several safety mechanisms had
Boy.
failed, and the machine
Do
accidentally
it.
activated. At something close to the speed of light, a high-energy proton beam fired through Anatoly's skull. It passed through the back
Tell
of his
me.
head, the lower half of his brain, and felt no pain, but he did see a super bright flash. And then he continued working. There were no immediate physical effects from the accident, and so he felt nothing of it. But he was eventually given away when the left side of his face became so swollen, people struggled to recognize him. He was immediately transported to a clinic in Moscow for doctors to observe his deterioration.
At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. They put their names for arenas, we put ours on my lower back. So naturally, when they announced that you're raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. If this were one of their ads, they'd end it here with a happy customer. So we'll end ours with an angry customer.
No further signs of deterioration, but he survived. It seems that because the radiation was focused on a small single path through his body, instead of being bathed in it like most radioactive fallout victims are, the damage was localized. Thanks to that, he survived. Though he didn't escape totally out, leaving him just staring into space. The same way my friends do whenever I tell one of my terrible jokes. Though in later years Anatoly's condition worsened and he has since had 6 larger seizures. The kind of full body seizure you're likely to have seen in any hospital drama. But even more strangely, the left side of Anatoly's face hasn't aged a day since the accident. When Anatoly frowns, only one half of his forehead wrinkles. You see, wrinkles are caused by the repetitive movement of the facial muscles beneath the skin. When the muscles are frozen, they don't stretch the skin and thus prevent the more noticeable signs of aging, such as smile or frown lines. With half of his youthful looks, Anatoly continued to work at the Institute for High Energy Physics and even held the post of coordinator of physics experiments.
Oh, look,
No
a
doubt
supply
making sure
door.
it was kept closely under
What is
wraps
in
to
here?
avoid leaking any information to the U.S. and other Western enemies
Dump it
at
out.
the time. Twice a year, Anatoly attended a Moscow radiation clinic to be examined, where he also met with other victims of nuclear accidents who were all similarly sworn to secrecy. It was only after the Soviet Union fell
A hunting
in 1991
rifle,
that
a hail
Anatoly was
horn,
free
and
from his long-held
is
silence.
that a machine
And it's
gun
also why I'm able to tell you this incredible story today.
pistol?
Anatoly is now
Or should I
widely
say
known
a
as
machine
someone
gun
who has
revolver?
literally redefined the physical limits of human beings and their capacity for survival.
Okay, I need to take this
He's
in,
one
but first I'm
super
gonna
tough
get rid of
physicist.
this body
I
by
bet after that workplace
chugging
accident,
it
he
out of
started
it.
wearing a lead-lined hard hat.
Okay, let me.
Call the
What's this?
aliens. What's on your bucket list? Maybe swim with dolphins or travel to every continent? A popular idea on many people's bucket list is to go skydiving. Compare to what happened
I
to
need
the
lights.
incredibly
What is?
wealthy Joan Leslie Murray. Back in 1999,
So now I have
Joan recently
this.
started her foray into skydiving.
But what
On
is?
one dive, she decided to try out some new gear when the worst thing that can happen when you're skydiving happened. Her main parachute failed to deploy. From 14,500 feet, she plummeted, and it wasn't until she was less than 700 feet from the ground that
This
she
is the
managed to
monitor.
open her emergency
It seems
chute.
like he has knocked
When she
himself
did,
out.
she quickly
We'll be
swung
back
out
in a
of control and ended up
Ugh.
crashing into a fire ant mound.
Ow.
Man, how unlucky can one lady get? But this ant-filled landing was
Let me
actually where
climb
her
over
luck
my.
changed.
Ugh.
The fire ants, anchored by their mound's new skylight, swarmed Jones.
Looks like
stinging
there's
her
zombies.
200 times. Each
Let
of
me
their
grab my
stings
sniper
secreted a
that
venom that
is
contains
up
a
here.
chemical hyperidine. This causes a burning sensation and blisters the skin. Though in this case, the stinging shots actually saved Joan as they stimulated her nervous system and kept her heart beating until help arrived. Joan spent 2 weeks in a coma following the accident, but after 20 constructive surgeries and 17 blood transfusions, she was released from the hospital 6 weeks later and went on to make a full recovery. Now, you'd think this would have put Joan off skydiving for life, right? Well, unbelievably, she went skydiving again only 2 years later.
Ah. Ah!
Hey, Taylor Swift. Turns out Joan here is the real anti-hero. Go with the flow.
Seems like this is another video.
There comes a time in a man's life when he feels lost or